What got me to dive into the CCR a little bit more, right, in greater detail. So what got me to dive into this? What got me to dive into the CCR a little bit more, right, in greater detail? So like I mentioned earlier, it's because in the RCR and OCR, I'm finding it hard to really find things with obvious value proposition. I mean, there still are, but not as clear as not as clear as last year, right? Where we talked a lot about large OCR units, because of the upcoming demand, the low supply. So all those supply have all been taken up, and so this year we got to look for where pockets of value lie. And so what got me really interested to dive deeper into the CCR is because of the data of Jervois Mansion being 80% sold to Singaporean buyers on an average of 2,500 PSF, Canninghill Piers 80% sold to Singaporean buyers at 2,950 PSF, right? That really got me thinking, because the old way of thinking, right, is that the CCR, while I say Canninghill Piers is not a CCR, right, but it's I took the fact that they are transacting at 3,000 PSF, I still chose to take this as a case study to get me thinking about what the CCR means and this sort of things. What has this actual data got to do or contribute to the CCR? We used to think that the CCR was a sort of a playground for a lot of foreigners, the playground for a lot of investors, things like that. Hence, when prices go up, they go up very fast, and when they crash very, very quickly. So it was very, very surprising to me to see 80% of the Canninghill Piers sales going to Singaporeans. Okay? And that got me curious. That got me to think a little bit deeper. Is there sort of a change in demographics that is coming into the CCR area, or the areas near the CCR? Okay? Then also this particular chart. So what this particular chart is showing, okay, the light blue line is CCR resale prices. The dark blue line is RCR new launch prices, and the orange line is the OCR new launch prices. So I'm weighing against CCR resale versus RCR new and OCR new, and if you are sharp, you can see the trends forming. Over in 2015, okay, 2015, CCR resale averaging about 2,000 PSF, 1,000 PSF more than OCR new launches, which was averaging about 1,000 PSF at that point in time. Fast forward to today, we are seeing OCR new launches averaging to 1,500 PSF, while CCR resale properties are still averaging at about 2,000. The gap has basically divided by 2, right? It used to be 1,000, today it's only at 500. The fundamentals have not changed, right? The fact is that those properties are still located in the CCR, but it's now that gap has narrowed. So it's the narrowing of this gap that has really looking at the data for Canninghill Piers and Jervois, together with the narrowing of the gap, it's starting to get me a little bit more curious about this. Okay, followed by the population census, another one of our favorite data points, right? Another one of our favorite things to look at when we want to analyze the property market in Singapore. So remember, over in the population census taken last year, the group that is making the largest group today is making $20,000 a year. Okay, a month, sorry, $20,000 a month, right? In 2010, just 10 years ago, the largest group was making between $3,000 to $5,000. So we are seeing like if a fourfold increase in income, right? Of course, not the most direct way to say it, but you get where I'm coming from, right? So like the largest group today is earning $20,000 a month, right? How does that impact their purchasing power? If you look at a $20,000 per month income, right, with a 30 years loan, right, they can loan up to $2.6 million, giving them a $3.45 million purchase price budget, right? If you just use a very arbitrary way to analyze this. And this really can bring them into the CCR today, right? Last time you cannot afford, today can afford, can consider, right?